Material Andy, and yeah, we're going to talk about something pretty interesting here on Raw Material Andy today because something big happened last night on WWE's Elimination Chamber. Yeah, guys, I know you already seen the headlines. I know you saw the thumbnail. Hopefully, I don't get nailed on that because I did kind of have to grab an image from Google. But yeah, guys, I of course here at the channel, I've got guys a little background here. I'm a huge fan of Danhausen, so we are going to talk about his debut, and we are going to talk about a bunch of stuff here about Danhausen because, guys, you know what? I was gonna react. I reacted right when I saw it. Okay. Let's just go back to the short. I reacted right when I saw him come out. I was stoked. We'll get into that, but I pretty much want to explain to you what we're going to talk about in this video because I love that Danhausen. I do. I love that Danhausen. I love the character. Those of you who maybe never seen my Danhausen videos before or anything that I've unboxed of Danhausen, as you will know, huge inspiration to me and my character voice. Also, especially voice. Voice is very much and like I don't even know how to explain how voice came about with this guy, but yeah. So this guy's name is Donovan Danhausen, guys. In case you don't know his actual name, his name is Donovan, and he created this character Danhausen, and this character was pretty big in like 2021, got really big. He signed with AEW, and then just nothing for a long time. I got frustrated with AEW. I'm not gonna lie, I was getting very frustrated with AEW. We're gonna get off this right off the bat because I want to then we'll get into it. Because I'm gonna be real. When he debuted at AEW, I was a bit stoked. I was like, okay, well, Danhausen, he's gonna be in AEW. I didn't watch a lot of AEW, but I ended up watching it when he joined. And they had something good going there. They had something good going with Danhausen there. One of my favorite bits ever with him is Hook and him, man. Hook and Danhausen, dude. Hookhausen, man. What the fuck? That'd be awesome if Hook jumped over to WWE. I don't think that'll ever happen, but if he ever did, Hookhausen would be a thing WWE should really try to cash in on. I don't think they can. I did a video before about, what would happen, or, the idea of Danhausen going to WWE and why I think that would maybe not happen, or why, if it did, what would happen with that. So that's what this video is going to also be about, guys. We're going to talk about this because I'm going to be real. I watched Elimination Chamber. I'm going to be honest with you here. Let me give you a little bit of review on the show of Elimination Chamber yesterday in case you all didn't see it and didn't want to pay $30 a fucking month to, watch ESPN. Elimination Chamber to me was quite boring. I was bored. I'm not going to lie. I love Elimination Chamber. When it was debuted, the match idea to me was freaking awesome. Hey there, Josh. Welcome to Raw Material Andy. We're going to talk a little bit about Danhausen here at Raw Material Andy because we love that Danhausen. I know right now it's a bit controversial because of his debut, but we're going to get into that. Like I said, the Elimination Chamber show, Rhea Ripley ended up winning the fucking Women's Chamber. I think we all knew that. I will say I was shocked that they allowed Randy Orton to beat Cody Rhodes. However, WWE, look, y'all dropped the ball in that men's Elimination Chamber. First of all, why did you not give Javon Evans more times to shine in that thing, man? That guy should not have been eliminated at all, till the end at least. Him and Trick Williams, I think they're the ones that should have won it. That's just my personal opinion. I think if you really are trying to build new stars, the best thing to do is have your newer stars beat these fucking veterans who have been in this match forever. Can you guys imagine if Javon Evans would have came out on top of that thing, dude? The fucking crowd would have got lit. And that's something I want to talk about because the crowd in Chicago kind of bugged me yesterday. I feel like they were just not in it, dude. And I'm not trying to talk shit about Chicago. I love CM Punk just as much as I can't say anybody else, but but the fact of the matter is I feel like the crowd just was not in the show last night at all. I've been watching a lot of people's videos. I've been trying to get other perspectives because, this Danhausen thing has me very fucking happy, but also very sad. It was like very nice, very evil, but right now very happy, very sad for Danhausen. The gist of it is that it sucked. It sucked. Randy Orton won the fucking chamber. We already knew that. Okay, we already knew. All right, we already knew fucking what was the AJ Lee Becky Lynch match. Oh my god, that was horrid. If anybody of you get mad at me in the comments, I get it. I love AJ Lee, and I am a fan also of Becky Lynch. That match sucked. That thing sucked, dude. Oh my god, did it suck? I was not happy with it at all. I thought it sucked. Hell, what happened? The world title match? I don't even remember what happened in that. CM Punk won, but like it. I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you. For it being in Chicago, for it being as hyped up as they wanted to hype it. What's up, Josh? How you doing? I saw you down there. It was a shitty show. However, there was this box reveal. And now, dude, okay, guys, right when I saw this box, what's up, Shared Family? How you doing? Welcome, or Shared by Family. Welcome. Like and subscribe, guys. I'd love to have you here. When I saw that box, I knew exactly who it was, guys. I knew that Danhausen, I knew his contract was going up in February because I follow this guy quite a bit. And I'm telling you, hey, what's up there, Tim Mayer or whatever your name is? I hope I don't get them wrong, but hey, welcome to the channel, guys. Give me some likes and subscriptions in there. We're going to talk about this. I knew his contract was going up. I never thought this guy was going to end up in WWE. I'm going to be real. I never thought so because of who he is. Yes. Hey, thank you for subbing. I appreciate it. Share my family. I appreciate that. Thank you for being here. I don't know if you guys love that Danhausen either, but let me know in the comments if you do. If you saw his debut, how you felt about it. I want to know how you guys feel because I'm going to be real. The internet is very conflicted on this thing, and I just wanted to put in my perspective because I am a true huge fan of this dude. Guys, I did not expect him to debut. Now I'm going to talk to you guys about how because the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, let's just say it sucked. WWE is just so fucking boring nowadays, so fucking predictable, and I'm so tired of it. Like, I think the most unpredictable thing, and I can't believe I'm about to say this, guys, that shocked me, honestly, was when Aleister Black threw a fucking fireball in Damian Priest's face. That is about as shocked as I have been in a while, okay, when it comes to WWE. And that just goes to show you how fucking low the bar is, honestly. It's just ridiculously dumb sometimes. But it is what it is. However, when I started hearing that, I looked at my girl and said, dude, I'm telling you, Danhausen is in that box, okay? And everybody, and I started seeing it on the internet, and I was like, okay, this is cool. So maybe I might be on to something here because I love this guy, and this would be awesome. So let's set the scene. Let's go. I watched it, guys. I watched the Elimination Chamber. I'm okay. Let me rephrase that. I suffered through the Elimination Chamber. Jesus Christ, that pay-per-view sucked, dude. WrestleMania, I'm sorry. Whatever fucking nostalgia you could ever feel for WrestleMania is fucking gone. WrestleMania 40 was it. And I don't even think that one was like the top WrestleMania. I know everybody's trying to say whatever. No, I'm sorry. That fucking top 5 maybe. But like, I knew Danhausen was coming. I felt the presence. I was sitting there. There was a doubt in me that thought, man, maybe this guy is not going to walk out of this box. And I'm going to be real. If he don't walk out of this box, I may not be able to handle it. But he fucking did. Now let's talk about what happened here because I'm going to say something controversial here, and maybe this is going to be where people get a little fucked up with me on the video. I think this is one of the best things we've seen on WWE. One of the most creative things we have seen in a long time, and at least in 2 years, I must say, for a debut anyway, in a long time. Okay, a long time. Let's think about the last debut that maybe stuck with you guys. I'm going to say the Wyatt 6, right? Remember how they did? And I think this is the fear. This is the fear. I don't know why I didn't think of this. This is one of the thoughts I just had now. The Wyatt 6, when they debuted, did you guys remember how they debuted, right? How everybody got hyped up. They had video montages. They had a countdown. They were letting us know, look, something's happening in the background. Someone's coming. These people are coming, right? And then when they finally debuted on that Raw, what did we see? We saw fucking a beautiful door open. Nikki Cross, some creepy shit going on. We went through the backstage, what looked like a fucking literal murder of a massacre in the backstage, right? Establishing the fact that Uncle Howdy finally comes back after his brother, Wyndham, Bray, the fucking Fiend. We never thought we were going to get anything from that world again. For them to come out after this massacre backstage to lift up that lantern, did you hear the fucking crowd? Did you feel the fucking goosebumps? Did you feel the spirit of Bray Wyatt, right? That's what that fucking debut did. And then what happened? The Wyatt 6 got fucking destroyed characteristically right away. They were doing great with it with the Chad Gable shit, but right when they got to the Karrion Kross shit, that was it. That you lost the Wyatt 6. Put them in the ring way too soon. They should have been a gimmick in the background where everybody feared and then debuted later. That's my honest opinion, but I fear that Danhausen is going to get hit with the Wyatt 6 effect. And I know some of you out there that love Danhausen are fearing the same goddamn thing, which is why this debut, for some of us who love this guy, is just sitting right with us because we wanted to see him here. But at the same time, there is some legitimate fucking fear here for Danhausen, okay? I'm just going to say it, dude. I'm worried, okay? A little bit. But, okay, so what happened? They debuted this crate for the past fucking month on, what, Raw and SmackDown or something like that. Said, oh, they're going to send it back and forth. Nobody knew where it came from. Everybody was thinking because everybody was holding that it was going to be Chris Jericho. Guys, I don't see Chris Jericho coming back to the WWE for a long time. And if he does, a retirement match at best, I guarantee you, maybe. I don't know. I feel if Chris Jericho's smart, he would just just stay over at AEW. I know that's a whatever, but he's way more established over there. People are better. And if he retires over there, it'll be a little bit more meaningful because he has built himself over there. And I understand why people want Chris Jericho over WWE, but guys, I hate to break it to you. I am tired of seeing these 50-year-old dudes, okay, wrestle in the ring and give us matches like we got between CM Punk and Finn Balor yesterday. Like, dude, I love Finn. I love CM Punk. That match sucked, okay? It sucked. I'm sorry, and I hate fucking saying it because, man, I was looking forward to that match. And I know everybody's like, oh, Finn Balor. No, man, I love the fact that fucking somebody got a chance that was different, Yeah, Finn Balor to the Judgment Day, whatever, but Finn Balor is going to get away from the Judgment Day. I think that match kind of set that up. I hope so, because Finn deserves better, along with a lot of the other roster, but we're talking about Danhausen. Sorry, guys, I'm going to stray off because a lot of this leads into what I fear is going to happen for Danhausen, dude. I already can see it. So look, man. So the Elimination Chamber, there was the crate. Adam Pearce and them opened up. You guys already know, okay? So it opened up and there was a coffin. And right, guys, right when I saw that coffin, I was like 80% sure it was going to be Danhausen. But right when I saw that, I fucking knew. And guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure my neighbors hated me. My poor girlfriend who was trying to sleep for work, I'm pretty sure she didn't hear me, hopefully. But guys, I'm going to be real. Right when I heard that laugh, and I heard you are cursed, I fucking lost it, dude. I lost it. I'm like, I probably lost it to about the equivalent of when Stone Cold came back from that hiatus. I mean, I was fucking stoked because here I am, guys, watching this dude that I fucking love who inspires me with my character voice, okay, guys, okay, and watching him finally come to WWE, finally, after never thinking it was going to happen, him probably thinking it was never going to happen, to see him there. I was stoked. So what happened, dude? This coffin opens, a bunch of chicks come out and start fucking doing a little dance. His theme music's going on. He comes out. And guys, I'm going to be real, for the first time in a long time, when I watched a segment of WWE, I was fucking-tained. I was having a good time, okay? I was watching these chicks dance to some goofy fucking Halloween sounding movie saying very nice, very evil, and watch my boy, who finally fucking made it, Danhausen, walk out of the curtain in WWE. Guys, to me, it was probably one of the top moments in WWE for me in 2026 already. And I know some people are like, Andy, really? It's Danhausen. But you guys don't get it, man. Now let's talk about what it went down. So they danced. He went to the ring. Danhausen did his little thing. When the lights went down, though, here's where it starts. Everybody booed. I want to elaborate on that. There were cheers for him when he came out. Not a lot, but there were enough to know, okay, so Danhausen is somewhat understood, somewhat known. But the problem was, and I watched this in a video, I forget the guy who said it. I will try to give him credit later on if I forget, but he said the one thing that I thought, and a lot of people think that this has a lot to do with CM Punk. I think that is correct. Okay, I'm going to say something controversial here. Triple H would not like a guy like this. I think we all know how Triple H feels about a self-made person, especially Danhausen. Danhausen, guys, came from a regular guy with like that just was like an indie guy to this character that we know now. And he went through a lot of phases, a lot of shit to get to the love that Danhausen that we love today. This character, this fucking beautiful fucking just person that just decided one day he could either do this or give up, and he fucking ran with it. And now the boy is in WWE. So everybody who said he was going to be a failure, everybody who looked at him and said he was going to be fucking nothing, that this gimmick you're doing is stupid, it's not going to get you nowhere, boy is in WWE. So it doesn't matter what anyone says. Now, the boos. I'm going to say the boos were not exactly fully for him. Okay, I think it was the disappointment of the crate. Everybody, like I said, wanted to be Chris Jericho, wanted to be this, wanted to be that, and it wasn't. So, but my disappointment, I'm going to say there's one thing that disappointed me about the segment. I did not appreciate how quick it was. I feel like if you're going to debut Danhausen, you should have gave us a little bit longer. Like, I think that's kind of what pissed some people off, is the fact that he just shows up, says nothing on the mic, gets in the ring, and then gone, right? Like some, what? Like a ghost, like what just happened here? It was too quick, and it wasn't established enough. A lot of people are saying the same thing that I agree with, that I feel like okay, so guys, if you know anything about Danhausen, he has his buddies, but he does his own videos too. So why didn't Triple H and all of them be like, Danhausen, look, I know you do camera work, you like to promote your own character. Okay, so how about you we want you to do it to where you don't reveal yourself, but almost do it like a Masked Singer thing. Like, you drop little fucking clues until we figure out who you are. I feel WWE, but the problem is, and this is kind of where I agree with a lot of other people too, guys, his WWE or his AEW contract expired literally at midnight. Okay, so how were we going to promote this guy without WWE getting in trouble with Tony Khan or AEW? Good point made by a lot of people. I agree with that. Like, I think what should have happened is they should have signed Danhausen. This is my personal opinion. Should have not have debuted him in Chicago. They should have debuted him in a place where people know him, like, oh, I don't know, his home state. That would have been perfect because people know him there. And I'm just going to say this straight up. They should not have debuted him at Elimination Chamber either. I agree with that too. A PLE was not a good idea. Where do I think Danhausen's going to fit? Because this is a dispute that I'm seeing, and I don't know what to say, because, dude, this is a character I can't even believe Triple H is allowing in WWE. And if he did actually allow Danhausen, and actually it was his idea, Hasmu, oh, you hate me. Bro, you know what? Hate is good. Hate is good, because hate, gives people strive to do better. So if you hate me, bro, cool, good, but you still got to love that Danhausen regardless. You know what I mean? But no, I understand why people are going to hate on me on this video. I get it. And I'm going to accept it. I already knew before I got on this video that this is going to cause me some problems probably, but no, I don't care, because I love the character of Danhausen. There's a personal reason for that, because, if any of you know anything about Raw Material Andy, you would know that I have a character on here named Voice, okay? Well, he looks like this. He talks like this. And, it's kind of funny, because if you really put him beside Danhausen, I feel like they could get along. Guys, you know what? For all my life, I always wanted to create a character. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to, create a character that wasn't just me. Okay, why are you too energetic? Because, bro, I have a high metabolism. And I'm very excited. When I am passionate about something I love, man, I'm very energetic. I'm very enthusiastic about it. But no, thank you, man. Hope you like and subscribe, man. Even with the hate, with whatever, dude. I need criticism, I need people's feedback. So, hey, as long as you're not hating me for anything personal. If you hate my content, bro, totally fine. Guys, that's the point of characters, of videos, is you're allowed to hate. Just don't be fucking nasty about it. You know what I mean? Just hate with some appreciate, That's what I say. But no, guys, seriously, Danhausen inspired me, because I was scared, guys, when I started Raw Material. I need to bring this voice out in person, okay? Where am I from? I am from Hanover, Pennsylvania, guys. I was afraid to bring Voice on Raw Material Andy. Yeah, we're about to get personal. This is why this debut matters to me, and why I love this character so much. Hey, no, you know what? AB Cads, thank you for being here. We gotta have a little chat, because I think there's something I'm going to be doing for you here in the Pokemon videos and stuff like that. But we're going to have a little chat about that. But hey, even though you can't stay here long, thank you for coming in. Leave a like for me, bud. And guys, give it up for ABG Cats Raw down there. If you can, man, go to his channel, like and subscribe. A big Pokemon fan, much like myself. But But guys, I was scared to bring the voice on camera. I was scared to get up in front of people and actually put this mask on and do this voice. And actually, because I was afraid of what people would think. I was afraid that people would think I'm a creep or a freak or a fucking weirdo or something like that. And I just got to this point where I didn't care. And you know why I didn't care? Because there's this dude out there named Danhausen who fucking painted his face, did a voice, and I mean, look at him now, dude. So the guy inspires me because he was gonna give up on everything and just go back to the mediocre life that he thought he had of whatever. I mean, regardless of whatever it is, but he took a chance, man, on a character of something he always wanted to do. And the guy debuted in WWE, and whether people hated it or not, it doesn't matter because now he is here. He is in WWE. So what are we going to do with this? How are we going to feel about this? I'm going to be honest with you guys. Oh, okay. Like I said, I feel WWE should have debuted him a little bit later. I think they should have debuted him in his home state. I think they should have, like, somehow that way they could have gave us some time to build up some cryptic videos, let Danhausen have creative control of his cryptic videos and what he does, and go from there. I think WWE did very well with the presentation. I thought it was entertaining. I love the dancing stuff, guys. I love Danhausen, what he does. As far as being a wrestler, guys, he is a gimmick wrestler, dude. He's a comedy type wrestler. This guy puts teeth in people's mouths just so he can kick them out. Okay, I don't know what else to say, dude. He curses people. So where would he fit to me? Here's another controversy. I think they should have debuted. Everybody says next. They should have debuted him on AAA. They should have debuted Danhausen on AAA. Anybody who agrees with that, thank you, because I agree with you too. AAA has characters like Mr. Iguana, okay? Like just a whole bunch of people, okay? Just a good amount of gimmicky, just wacky, wild characters that people love, okay? They love Mr. Iguana, dude. They love him, dude. Can you imagine a tag team with him, Danhausen, and Mr. Iguana? People have been saying that, but it would be goofy, but it would fucking work. Can you imagine Danhausen, who has a love for mankind, making a Danhausen like puppet to tag team with Nagini or whatever the fuck its name. Okay, I got that wrong. I think that's the snake from Harry Potter. Whoops. But you know what I'm saying. So I think Danhausen over in AAA would be a great idea. Dude, not only that, as far as being a wrestler, I don't know if you guys got to go check tape. It's as far as whether you think he's a good wrestler or not. I think he's a great wrestler when he is allowed to do what he can do, what he is allowed to do, and that is be Danhausen, okay? I was very shocked that he got to keep his name. I knew his music was going to change. I will say the only thing I'm not really digging is the yellow. I'm not digging the yellow, but hey, whatever. That's his choice. Whatever, cool. Guys, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm super excited for Danhausen to be in WWE because I think this is something WWE needs. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I don't know how you feel about storylines or how you feel about the gimmicks and shit that's been going on, but I have not been completely impressed for a long time, and I have not seen anybody debut that has just affected me as much as like Bray Wyatt, maybe, dude. Like when he was the Fiend, like that's the last time I feel like I was excited about a character. Of course, we all know how that ended. Unfortunately, really fucking bad. Okay, and I think this is the fear. My fear is that this character who can really do good for WWE is going to be creatively destroyed. I feel like you need to let Donovan, okay, the guy behind Danhausen, have more control over this than anything. I know for a fact, just by the gimmick we saw yesterday, that maybe not full, but he had a good bit to deal with that. The little poofs, little pyros, guys, you don't understand. He is not a guy you're supposed to take serious like a Cody Rhodes or like a Jacob Fatu or like a fucking, Randy Orton. This is a guy like, oh my God, somebody said, like, okay, this is a guy like R-Truth. This is that kind of gimmick. This is that guy. But I also think you need to think about his gimmick. Very nice, very evil. Okay, we could get, look, man. Okay, look, I'm telling you, if this could be done right, Danhausen could be an awesome asset to WWE. And what I fear is that he's going to get the same goddamn treatment as the Wyatt Six, as the fucking Fiend, and I do not like that, because that is a fear that if any of you are Danhausen fans, you legitimately, I think, can agree with me on that this is probably what's going to happen. Now, oh, God, I don't know what to say, guys, because I'm going to be real. I feel for Danhausen because I did hear the reaction. I'm seeing a lot of the online shit, and I'm going to be real. I can't imagine what it's like to be in that guy's head right now. Actually, I kind of can, because I hear what people say about The Voice, and I feel that, and I know kind of what that's like. So I only want to say this, guys. For any of you who are watching WWE right now, for any of you who saw this guy debut, if you're on the fence about this guy, or if you don't like him, all I want to say, and I'm not saying whatever, just give him at least an open mind. I'm not saying give him a chance, but give him an open mind and maybe think about the fact that this is what we need. We need something in WWE that's entertaining, that's good, that's funny, because, guys, I'm going to be real. WWE is really not doing great creatively right now, and I feel bringing Danhausen here could do something for them. Not only that, the interactions I could think of that I have been dying to see this man in WWE could possibly happen. You already know we're going to get him and CM Punk. I don't understand why that didn't happen last night. Why? You know what would have been really good if Danhausen would have debuted during the fucking CM Punk match and, like, curse the Judgment Day to go backstage and leave ringside or something. It would have been stupid, but it would have been good. The jar of teeth. Okay, for those of you, yeah, yeah. The jar of teeth giving him the Michael Cole. Genius. Oh my God, genius. The Wade Barrett. I'm gonna be real, guys, not a huge announcer, but I'm gonna say the dude probably had the best punchline for Danhausen too. Like, he looked at Michael Cole, he's like, well, Danhausen gave you teeth, buddy. Hey man, you're getting old, you're gonna need those dentures, man. He got you started on a starter kit or some shit. Great. Good job, Wade. Thank you so much for that. Because I'm gonna be real. Nobody was saying that. Oh, look at that. Oh, well, I'm going to be cursed because I just dropped the fucking phone on a Danhausen video. Oh, you are cursed, Andy. You are cursed. Anyway, guys, it doesn't matter if I'm cursed or not, because I'm going to be real with you. Yeah, the crowd was very interesting in Chicago. I noticed a lot of people are even for CM Punk, like, I felt like the crowd wasn't as hyped as they normally are. So I don't know what was happening in that arena, but I feel like Chicago just did not appreciate the Elimination Chamber either. And I get it, though, because, guys, look, man, WWE is not doing well with stories and shit. So, yeah, you're not going to care about this shit. I watch plenty of people who are positive and negative about these shows. And even the positive people are like, you could tell their enthusiasm is very just like trying to keep it there, you know? Other than the people that are just straight up like WWE fucking, own people who are going to say this show was fucking phenomenal and blah, 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 and even gloss over the Danhausen things. There were problems in the Danhausen debut. Like I said, I feel like it was too quick. I feel like the hype of it wasn't enough because you couldn't really do much with him. So the only mistake I feel was made is we should have waited for the debut of Danhausen. First of all, we are right around the corner to a couple of pay-per-views or a couple of whatevers that we could have debuted him on. Guys, I think it was just the wrong time, wrong place. Like I said, if you would have debuted him in his home state, in an arena that maybe he was already in, that people would have bought tickets for, and you would have rumored that a little bit better, and we could have had setup tapes. Dude, I'm telling you, this debut would have been way better and way more received than the disappointment that everybody. And you got to think, guys, of all the ticket prices people are paying. I'm not saying that Danhausen is not worth this debut. It's just they wasted the debut that could have been phenomenal on a event that already was very lackluster. You got to think of how many people probably tuned out after that Elimination Chamber between the women. I'm going to tell you now, if you didn't after that, I had a hard time sitting through the Becky Lynch AJ Lee match. I'm sorry, dude. That match I said it at the beginning, it just, oh my God. But think about that. If people tuned out at that match right there, you already lost the audience you were hoping you were going to have for this debut. So I hate to break it to WWE. They just don't know how to push characters, superstars. They don't know how to debut people. And when they do debut people, they fuck it up. Yeah, you know what? Thank you. Thank you, Noah. I'm glad you brought that up. Hey, man, like and subscribe. Noah, thank you. It was too quick. Yes, Noah brought up a point. I think people were hoping that he was going to get on the mic and maybe at least say who he was, at least give us a catchphrase, at least give us some idea what the fuck is happening here and why this guy is doing what he's doing. I'm telling you, it was a lack of building this guy, and WWE has this fucking problem today, man. With Bill, and let's set Danhausen aside, guys. Are they doing fine with Trick Williams? Yeah, but let's be real. Is it really WWE pushing Trick Williams, or is it because Trick Williams is going out there and being Trick Williams and the crowd is getting behind that? Guys, here at Raw Material Andy, we don't crank that soldier, bruv. We pop that fucking Trick, okay? I want that on a t-shirt, dude. I want y'all to I'll tell you what, if you guys see that anywhere else, Raw Material Andy made that up first. We don't crank that soldier, we pop that Trick, okay? Spread that shit, all right? And let them know Raw Material. Jada Parker fan here. Awesome. I like Jada Parker. She's fine. That's what I mean. Like, okay, look, man. Like I said, WWE has this really bad nag of bringing people. Look at Penta. Look at Penta. Can we talk about Penta real quick? Dude, the guy was supposed to be a secret and people loved him before he even came in. People still love him. LA Knight. Oh, dude, I don't even want to talk about that because I'm going to be honest with you. Hey there, KDNZ Prods, I guess it is. Welcome to the Raw Material Andy. Like I said, guys, there's a lot of problems with character building. And what my fear is WWE is going to fuck this thing up as much as they already did. So my final consensus is I love that Danhausen. And Danhausen, I don't know if you ever see this. I doubt you will. Bro, I am proud of you, man. I am so happy that you came from just the regular bearded wrestle guy, tattooed wrestle guy, to this guy that got the WWE, that got the debut in WWE last night. I'm happy with this guy because Danhausen is a huge inspiration here at Raw Material Andy. Yeah, like Penta, Valkyrie. Yeah, a lot of these pushes are just rough, and they're pushing people who aren't ready. Okay, they're not ready. I'm a huge Stephanie Valkyrie fan too. But I know why they give her the belt. However, I feel like we need more than just her finishing move being the point. She's a great wrestler. She is great too. That's what I'm saying, guys. Like, there is a lot of dropped opportunity here, but I think Danhausen, a lot of people say NXT. I'm going to say AAA. If you really want to get this guy off the ground, I think AAA is the way to go. I like AAA. I love luchador wrestling. I feel sometimes some of the AAA shows give us better wrestling. I'm going to say maybe not better stories, but I will say better in-ring performances than what we see on some of the main roster. I know that's controversial. I don't care. That's my opinion. So yeah, Danhausen I think would fit over there. I don't know, guys. I feel for Danhausen. I think it sucks that he got booed, but I do agree with Noah down here. That I feel there wasn't much of a buildup. I feel like Danhausen should have done more. His cameo should have been longer. I don't know if maybe something happened to where matches went a little bit longer. AAA is a good show. Yeah, I agree with you guys down there who are agreeing with me on AAA. Thank you so much. I agree. That's the thing. That's one thing WWE did right, man. They acquired AAA. I still say they're messing that up a little bit too, because you can tell, I feel like Dominic Mysterio being over there is pretty entertaining, but it's still run its course. I'm about done with that too. Liv Morgan as well. All this shit that's happening on WWE, they need to just take a step back and reevaluate some of the things they're doing. WWE, okay, Danhausen's debut, everything they did, the box, him coming out, the pyro, the dancing girls, everything was fucking perfect. I'm sorry, guys. I was entertained. I was loving every minute of it, man. I was sitting here for once stoked about what I was seeing in a fucking PLE that was 3 hours long and $30, okay? You guys, you are essentially paying $10 an hour, okay, to watch a PLE that gives you 4 matches, and that's another thing, too. We need more matches, okay? Yeah, I'm done with the Judgment Day, too. I've been done with the Judgment Day for a long time. Raquel Rodriguez got fucked last night. I'm going to say it straight up. Raquel should have won that thing, or Kiana James. How do you... I know, I'm about to go on a rant. I know some people ain't fans of Raquel there, but let's talk about what WWE did last night and what they were trying to tell us, what they've been trying to say for weeks with this woman, forever now, that Raquel is a force in the women's roster that you need to look out for. She is a beast. Even Jade Cargill should have some shaking in her boots last night after what she saw. What did we see? We watched Raquel go into Elimination Chamber and fucking own people, okay? She eliminated 2 women at the same time. She stacked them up. 1, 2, 3. Own that shit. But of course, Rhea Ripley came out on top. I was fucking mad when it was Tiffany Stratton and Rhea Ripley at the end. Guys, look, I am all about Tiffy time, okay? And you're not going to sit here and hear me ever talk shit about Rhea Ripley because I love Rhea Ripley, okay? We love mommy, okay? I don't even like calling her that, okay? But we love Rhea Ripley. But I am tired. I'm tired of seeing her all the time in the main events, dude. I loved what they had going on with her and Io. I thought that was fine. But god damn it, dude. Raquel Rodriguez. Ah, God, dude. I'm sorry. I don't know, man. A lot of people are probably gonna hate this video. They're gonna, a lot of you, like, really be upset with me on some of the shit I say here. I do not care. I will assure you guys, I do not care because, dude, I love wrestling, man. I love wrestling ever since I was a kid, man. It's something I remember because it's the last little bit of memories I can hold in my head about my mom and granny who are not with me anymore. So this thing means something to me because if they were alive nowadays, my granny would be fucking mad, dude. She would not have liked Danhausen at all. Actually, I think she would have because my grandmother loved like Sting, loved Kane, loved The Undertaker. So my granny might have liked Danhausen. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I showed him to her and she was rather entertained by him. But guys, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. Another thing is too is these breaks in between. No, I don't know if this is what you're trying to say. But the breaks in between these superstars wrestling, man, it's just like working out. If you work out, and then you take a break and go back to working out, you cannot pick up where you left off because you will fuck yourself up. You will tear your muscles. You will fuck up, dude. So that's the same thing. Your muscles have to constantly be used to what you're doing. Just like, look, I'm not a WWE wrestler, guys, but I'm a factory worker, okay? When I take a week break from work and I come back, dude, I'm telling you, I am rusty as shit. It takes me about 2 to 3 days to get back into the flow of being that normal, worker that I was. And that's just a week off, okay? You guys know what I'm saying? Now, I'm talking as a normal person who ain't a WWE superstar who's paid mad amount of money, This is me as a personal person. So if that happens to me and I don't work out, I don't have a great diet like they do. I don't have professional trainers. I don't have great health insurance. You know what I mean? And I'm experiencing the same thing they are. You have to think, they are experiencing it too. Ring rust is a real thing. And you saw it yesterday quite a bit sometimes with some of these people who haven't wrestled for a while. AJ Lee, I love her to death, dude, but you guys saw it. You saw it. I know you saw it. But I could almost vouch for her in a sense for the fact that at least she tried. I will give it to her. That match, and I hated it. And I hope CM Punk isn't mad at me because I love CM Punk voice. But yeah, guys, look. What I want to say about the Danhausen thing a little bit because I want to wrap this up because I got into way more topics than I thought I was going to. It's just WWE. Look, man, you have something here. Okay, you have something very special with this Danhausen guy, and if you allow him to do his you guys messed up with his debut. I not with how it was perceived, not with how it was done. The timing and the place was shit. I agree with anybody who loves Danhausen out there, and even don't, who said that his debut was mucked up by being in Chicago and by not building it up better. I agree, and I feel because that's what I was sitting here thinking before this video. Like, yeah, this is it. So what should have happened was we should have waited for the debut of Danhausen. They should have signed him. We should have gave some cryptic little videos that Danhausen himself should have made. Okay. And we should have debuted him in his home state. I'm sorry. That's where it should have happened. So that's why I think it failed, other than the fact that if you debut somebody that nobody fucking knows or has any idea about, especially if, WWE hardcore fans who are true to it never watched WWE, never knew who Danhausen was, this was bound to happen. Now, there are some rumors I saw that Danhausen said he quit and then took down an Instagram post. Let's think about how this guy feels a little bit, guys. Let's think about this for a minute. Can we take a step out of our fucking bullshit for a minute and think about how Donovan feels. Okay, guys, I get a lot of comments about my character voice a lot. I get a lot of he's a furry, he's a freak. Why would you bring something like that on him? You should just get rid of him on the show. He's a fucking idiot. We don't fucking like voice, blah 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 blah. And I get so much hate for this character. And you know what? Sometimes, guys, I'm gonna sit here. I sit here and I think about the fact that like maybe they're right. You know, maybe voice is just something that shouldn't be on Raw Material Andy anymore. And I have conflicted about this, and that is bullshit. You know why? Because the reality is, guys, there would be no Raw Material Andy if it wasn't for voice, if it wasn't for that character, because I had no idea where I was going with this thing when I started it. When I started it 3 years ago, I was just gonna be a guy who plays fucking video games. That was it. I was gonna be a fucking guy who plays video games on YouTube, and that was it. And that was it. And then one day I thought to myself, you know, Danhausen's doing it. This guy Donovan's doing it, man. He's going out there. And yeah, man, I can imagine it could be nervous to put on face paint and going into a crowd full of people. But it has inspired me to bring voice on Raw Material Andy at least. And one day, hopefully, maybe, if I could see, what happens here, I would love to bring voice out in public. And you know what I would love to do, guys, one day? I would love for you to see a short here on Raw Material Andy where I walk up as the voice in that fucking awesome voice, and I get to walk up to Danhausen himself and tell him, thank you, bruv. You know what I mean? That's what I want. That's my dream, guys, to be able to walk up to this guy, shake his hand as the voice and say, thank you so much, bro. Yeah, guys, we love that Danhausen here at Raw Material Andy, and if you don't love that Danhausen, if you don't agree with his debut, if you thought it was shit and, whatever, hey, that's your opinion, and that's the thing about it, guys. You're allowed to have it. But take 2 steps back and think about if that were you for a minute, okay? If that were you for a minute, all the nerves in your head, all the things of wondering if this is going to work out. Well, am I going to trip over my fucking cape when I get in the ring? How people are going to react to me. Think about that for a minute. Think about if that were you when the lights went down and you heard those boos, okay? That's the problem with people. They can't ever put themselves in other people's shoes. You know what I mean? And that's what I did, man. And those boos, I don't think were fully for Danhausen. I think because it was just a little more underwhelming than what Chicago wanted. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. Like I said, I love that Danhausen. I want to meet him one day. I hope I get to it. And when I do, I'm telling you guys, man, it's going to be awesome. But yeah, guys, I love that Danhausen. I am so fucking happy he's in WWE. I am stoked that he is. And you know what, dude? I really just hope that everybody will just give him a chance. Keep an open mind, guys. We need something different in WWE because I'm telling you, man, this company is not doing, financially, it's always going to do probably well. But guys, creatively, I'm sorry. But if I want creative stuff, I go to AAA anymore. I don't watch main roster anymore for stories. For nothing, because there is none. And when you do give us something, they're shitty. So, guys, I think Danhausen could be the breath of fresh air we need, guys. We need a little bit of very nice, very evil. Okay? We do. We fucking do. And we need some motherfuckers to be cursed, okay? Look. I'm just going to say it. Logan Paul. Danhausen, please curse Logan Paul before anybody. Guys, can you imagine what you could do with Danhausen with this curse thing? I want this story. Can you imagine Triple H comes out one day and y'all are booing him? You're booing him, and I'm booing him too because I can't stand the booking. All of a sudden, Danhausen's music hits. He pops up in the ring and he curses Triple H to take over the booking, right? And then he looks at all everybody in the fans and says, guess what, guys? You want Triple H to do what you want? Well, guess what? He's cursed. Dude, imagine Danhausen cursing Triple H and allowing us to actually take over the booking. Dude. Insane, right? But who else is going to curse Triple H? Who else is going to curse any of these fucking people? Guys, I'm telling you, dude, this could be good. Yes, I know how it could be bad. But guys, give Danhausen a chance. That's all I'm going to say. Give Danhausen a chance because I'm going to tell you what, dude. This could be good. This could be fun. But that's the one thing. It's going to be fun. And I think that's something WWE has lost. That fun feeling. You know what I mean? Of having fun. Of of Triple H, man. Even he was funny one day, man. He used to be awesome with Generation X. Guys, a DX version Danhausen. DX Danhausen. I mean, come on, guys. There's so much shit we can do with this guy. I'm fear for him. Hey there, XX Crit. Welcome. Yeah, we're about ready to hop off, but hopefully you come in and watch the video again. Guys, I love that Danhausen, and I am so happy he's in WWE. And I loved his debut. Like I said, it was probably the most entertaining debut I've seen since the Wyatt 6. Yes, Greg, thank you. His debut was so goofy, it was good. It was great. It was refreshing. Guys, I'm sorry, dude, but how did you not at least have a little bit of like cringe? Yes, but like, I mean, look at this fucking guy. He's a goofy bitch. What is with these dancers? Why is he coming out of a box? What's with these really weird little poof of these pyros? Like, why did this guy just give a jar of teeth to Michael Cole? What the fuck is going on? But how many times have you guys found yourself asking these questions in the past 2 years since WrestleMania 40? Let me leave you with that. I'll wait. Anybody in the comments? Yeah, I hear fucking crickets, okay? So that's the thing, guys. That's what I'm going to say. You may have hated it. You may have not liked it. And if you loved it, thank you. But I'm going to be real with you guys. Probably one of the most entertainings I've seen in WWE since WrestleMania 40 Night 2. And that's saying a lot for me because, guys, I've been trying to give WWE a lot of fucking chances here. And I'm going to tell you what. WWE, I'm just going to say this right now. You ruined this character. You ruined fucking Danhausen. I'm out. I'm not kidding, guys. I'm out. I will still do Raw Material and the wrestling, but as far as watching the product, you can eat my fucking booty hole, okay? Because I love that Danhausen, and I really hope y'all take this thing serious. So that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, like I said, he wasn't built up enough. They jumped the gun too soon. They should. Chicago? Really? You know what, guys? Don't just go back and watch the bit, okay? For Danhausen, watch the match, listen to the crowd. If you have to, turn off the commentary and listen to the crowd. Guys, I'm telling you, like, I feel like this crowd was this shit. And I know I don't even care for Chicago. I don't. I am a very country mountains person. Alaska all the fucking way. Cheers, Red Bull not being sponsored. This is the best fucking one there is. But seriously, guys, like, I hope that we can just give Danhausen a good chance, and I hope you guys can just take a step back and maybe put yourself in his shoes a little bit, okay? Think of what you create on a daily basis, okay? Even if you are a famous YouTuber, think about it, okay? Think about how you would have felt right there, okay? That's all I'm saying. And just maybe, give the guy some love because, man, it had to be the most nervous thing to go out on something and knowing that this could fail. These people don't know me. We don't know what was going through Donovan's head before he went out there, dude. I get a lot of fucking nerves, a lot of probably like doubt, a lot of like, fuck. And him probably hearing them boos probably put a lot of hurting in his pride, guys. So look, I'm going to be real, Donovan. I love you to death. Don't give up, bro. Don't give up because people like me, man, really need you out here nowadays, dude. We need some fucking comedy in WWE, dude. That's not R-Truth, okay? I'm sorry, but look, we got a bit with R-Truth, and what did he give us? Papa John's pizza. Great. Thank you, Archers. Great. That pizza sucks. Honestly, nothing's going to beat a excellent homemade pizza. Okay? Sorry. Domino's, nothing, dude. A pizza from my oven that I made from scratch, way more bang, okay? Way more bang, all right? Bad Andy, good pizza, right? You guys remember that Domino's phrase there? I bet you don't. That's how old I am. But all right, guys, love that fucking Danhausen because I'm going to be real. I do. I am excited to see where they take him. Just they need to put him on TV more. They need to do whatever. I think the next time he appears, wait till we're in the West Coast with the guy because that's where he's known. They should have not have debuted him in Chicago, dude. That was a shit move. It was a shit move. But I love that Danhausen. I love the presentation. I was very happy for Donovan to finally get that chance. So Donovan Danhausen, bro. Love you to death, bro. Keep doing what you're doing, dude. And don't listen to these fucking haters, bro. Because if you would have listened to them in the first place, what would you be doing, bro? Think about that. All right. So Donovan, thank you, bro. I'm so happy that you stepped out there and you did something amazing. And bro, think of it this way. If they didn't like it, they're fucking cursed, right? So hey, hate to break it to you guys, but Donovan Danhausen, Mr. Donovan is WW fucking E. I am excited. I am happy. So is the voice, because you better believe he is loving it. And guys, seriously, thank you so much for coming on this video. Hey, if you disagree with me, if you didn't, if you don't even care about my video, or if you hate my channel for it, it's okay, guys. That's a matter of opinion. That's the point of this video. I'm just talking about something I love, a person that I'm passionate about, and people don't have to like it. You don't have to hate it. You don't even have to watch it. But what I do say is always give it a chance and have an open mind, because guys, sometimes in this world, what we need more than ever is a goofy fucking looking vampire guy walking out there dancing and making people laugh and giving them jars of teeth. That's what we need. We need some fucking more laughter in this world. And WWE, thank you for giving Danhausen a chance. I'm going to say this. I don't think it was Triple H, because this is not the type of guy Triple H likes. And like I said, I will apologize to Mr. fucking Hunter Hearst, whatever fucking wannabe bitch boy, Triple H, Cerebral Assassin, Motorhead, bro. I'm sorry, it's the best thing about you, and I don't even like that band. I do like Lemmy. I'm just not a fan of Motorhead completely, guys. It's not saying that they're a bad band. Awesome band. I saw them live, and I'm gonna be real. If Motorhead live ain't gonna ever beat Motorhead on album. That's what I'm just saying. I'm saying I prefer my Motorhead on stage, but whatever. But anyway, guys, I love Donovan Danhausen. I'm glad he's in WWE. Yeah, you can tell here at Raw Material Andy, man, we love that Danhausen. So, guys, I can't say much more on this other than the fact that I really am happy for Danhausen. I am super happy for him. Guys, look, man, WWE needs some very nice, very evil, very funny. Okay, we need that right now. And guys, think about this character: very nice, very evil. We could see good versions of him. We could see bad versions of him. I mean, guys, can you imagine a goofy little skit with him in the Wyatt Six? I mean, I know that sounds stupid. All right, everybody keeps predicting that he's going to get compared to Sting and all that by R-Truth, which honestly, I don't think that bit would be funny to me, because it's too predictable. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with Donovan. I just really hope that they allow him to have some say. If you give this guy creative control over this, it will be great. I think so. Can you imagine him coming out? There's so many things I could think of. I wish I could write for this guy, because, dude, man, oh my God. All right, guys, that's all I have to say there for Danhausen. That's all I really want to say, because, guys, I'm going to be real. Yeah, I was stoked to see Danhausen debut. I was very happy. I'm going to be honest with you. It was so cool to see somebody that inspires me make it somewhere that probably some people really thought he was never going to be there. But no, guys, I'm so happy for Danhausen. Voice is happy for Danhausen. Mandy thinks he looked fantastic and would love to dress up like one of the girls there, the dancer girls, because that was awesome. Little fact, I saw a post that I thought was really cool. To Danhausen's wife, guys, was one of the dancers there, and that's another thing too. To have a support system, he has two buddies, too, that are behind him all the time, guys. That that's what you need, guys. You need the support system to get you through things like days like where you get booed, or where people say your videos suck, or where your character that you love is a freak and that they hate him and that he's a clown or whatever like that, or a furry or whatever. I get called a furry a lot because of the bunny mask. But no, guys, seriously, I think we need to take a step back, put ourselves in this guy's shoes, and just be happy that the guy got to make it where he did. I really hope he doesn't get cold feet. I really hope something doesn't happen where WWE doesn't push because they didn't get the reaction they hoped. No, man, I really think they need to continue with Danhausen. I think what you need to do, like I said, put him over in AAA and see how that crowd works. See how that works for him, because I think that's the crowd to start off with. NXT, this guy, I don't know if I can't see my problem is I think it would be an insult to put him on a developmental program, because he's already developed this character. This character is already there, so there's nothing to develop there. As far as in-ring performance, maybe, I don't know. We haven't seen him wrestle yet. I think they should let him wrestle. Him and R-Truth, I will agree with people. I think that would be the good way to go about it. A little weird rivalry there, maybe, like R-Truth is getting jealous that this painted vampire-looking guy is coming in here and cursing people, or he curses people against R-Truth. Or, dude, can you imagine him walking in there and cursing people against CM Punk, his own buddy, dude, right? Like, guys, look, there's so much you could do with Danhausen, but I don't know. I don't know. I love the fact that he's there. This was an hour-long video of something that should have been probably a 15-minute discussion. But guys, seriously though, I'm very excited to see Danhausen in WWE. I wish they would have debuted him a little bit later and built him up more. But hey, he's here. So hey, hopefully the one thing I hope WWE doesn't do is let this guy wrestle and then give us what 400 plus days where we don't see him on television. I'm not talking about AEW. No, not at all. Idiots, dude. They dropped the ball so bad. But hey guys, yeah, the only fear I have is the Wyatt Six effect on Danhausen, that they are going to fuck it up. I don't know. WWE, my only suggestion is take Danhausen's suggestions. Pay attention to what the haters are saying that they want for Danhausen, and just try to stick to the people that love him for him. Let those gimmicks have. Other than that, I don't know, WWE. This one's on you. Do I think you're gonna drop the ball with this guy? Yeah, I do. I fucking do. I do. I want to have faith, guys, but if it's Triple H writing this guy, I have no fucking faith. If it's Danhausen, I have faith. We don't know. Who knows? When's the next time we're going to see Danhausen? My suggestion to WWE, a fucking ASP. You need to get this guy built now. And do not do what you did with the Wyatt Six and build him up. Do the little blips you did and then put him in the ring and then get him jobbed out, because that is the best way to kill a fucking character. Look at Roxanne Perez. I love Roxanne Perez, guys. She was supposed to be the prodigy, but again, how many matches did she lose last year? And shouldn't have. Like I said, guys, WWE doesn't know how to build fucking talent. So do I have any faith that Danhausen is going to make it in WWE? Merchandise-wise, fucking yes, probably. Depending on who's booking him and what stories they put him in, I can't say it, guys. I'm going to be a skeptic. I'm going to try to have some optimistic, excitement here, enthusiasm, or whatever you say. But I am super enthusiastic about Danhausen making it to WWE. So, guys, in the comments, let me know how you feel. Do you love that Danhausen, or do you hate that Danhausen? And how did you feel about his debut? And you know what, guys? Just let me know in the comments. If it were you that had to go through that debut, how you truly would have felt. Don't answer that as a fan. Answer that as a human being who dealt with that. So, all right, guys, I love that Danhausen. Danhausen, continue doing what you're doing. Guys, this has been Raw Material Andy, and thank you for being here. And, yeah, guys, thank you for hearing me out, again, on this little situation that is Danhausen debuting in, WWE. So, guys, get ready for some very nice, very evil, very Danhausen.